Hey guys, I know a lot of you guys are thinking about launching a brand in Japan, but you might be intimidated by the language barrier, by the culture, by all of these differences. But today I wanted to share with you a actual blueprint how to launch a successful brand in Japan as a foreigner. Today I'm thrilled to have my friend Burak Gorgoglu with us here today. He's the founder and CEO of Kolbay, and then they launched a successful ice cream brand in Japan, POCO-TEIN. So he's going to share with you his story, how he launched in Japan. Barack, welcome. How's it going, my friend?
Thank you, Gary. Thank you so much for the introduction. It's all good, man. All good. Just busy, summer being summer, lots of ice cream being sold. So yeah, very exciting.
Yeah, we're having a record-breaking hot summer here in Japan. How's that helping your ice cream business, by the way?
It's helping my ice cream business a lot, but boy, do I want this to be finished as soon as possible. It's just too hot,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Honestly.
yeah. Well, Barack, I heard recently that your brand actually got onto Japanese
Yeah, that's
TV,
right.
and then that's one of the things I want to learn how you did that.
Absolutely.
And just a quick introduction of Barack. Barack, I actually met Barack in Tokyo a couple years ago when I launched the Seven Figure Seller Japan Mastermind. And it was a conference to help entrepreneurs launch their brands on Amazon Japan. And before I knew it, I mean, Barack is his products are in the konbinis. Like I hear that you're in which stores are you guys in right now? Like
So
how's it doing so
we're in a
far?
couple of major supermarket chains, but the biggest one is coming up this September. So in a month's time, we'll be in 7-Eleven. And then, yeah,
Wow.
and then in October or November, the date hasn't been set, but Family Mart is coming up as well.
Cool. Okay, 7-Eleven and Family Mart. Those are like top two, right? And then, like a lot of people come to Japan, especially just to get the konbini
Yeah,
food. So make sure you pick up a carton of Pocotein while you're at it. Barak, can you share a little bit more about your business? Like how much revenue are you doing right now, just so people have a better idea
sure thing.
about Pocotein? Like tell
Absolutely,
us more, please.
absolutely. So it's important to understand that the first cup of Pocotein was produced in March of last year. So it's basically been, what, 17 months ago since we did the first cup. And back then, it was just me and a friend working for free part-time. So we were just two guys making some ice cream in our own facility. By month
Hmm.
three, we went viral on Instagram. It was not
Mm.
any paid stuff or anything. It was just some YouTuber who loved the product and he just posted a 40-second short of it and posted it. And before you knew it, we became the best-selling ice cream online in Japan, as
On Amazon
on
Japan?
Amazon Japan. And yeah,
Wow.
that brought sales up to, should I convert it to USD? Would that be easy?
No, I mean you can speak yen
Okay,
first,
so
and we can talk.
around
Yeah.
6 million yen, uh,
Hmm.
starting July, starting June, sorry,
Okay.
last year
Per month?
per month.
Like per month?
Yes.
Okay.
And so for the,
I think that's like what, 42,000 US
yeah,
dollars,
something
more
like
or
that.
less.
And this is,
Yeah.
just two people working part-time.
Okay.
Um,
Wow.
so
Wow.
after that, we had to hire a lot of new part-timers. So we increased our team to like 10 people in a month. And yeah, we just sold online for the entirety of 2024. We did manage to get into some to Life Supermarket, which is one of the biggest supermarket chains in Japan, and we did a test run
Mm-hmm.
there to see if it would work. And we rode on the back of our online success. So basically, what we did was we went into the meeting and said, "Hey, listen, we launched 6 months ago, and we're the best-selling ice cream online. Why don't we do a test?"
Mm.
And yeah,
Mm.
they were willing to do it, and we passed the test. And we started launching seriously in wholesale in April of this year. And
Mm-hmm.
so from May, whatever we sold in April, we get paid in May. So from May, we finally hit the 10 million mark. And then we're expecting to
Mm-hmm.
break the 15 million mark this month. But then, when 7-Eleven comes in, yeah, I'm hoping to at least triple that number from here on out
Yeah.
per month.
Yeah, 7-Eleven is everywhere. That's
Yeah.
huge. So walk us through, I mean, like, well, okay, first off, tell us more about your background, Barack, because obviously you're not Japanese, right? We're having a little like talk about, your background. So like tell us like where are you from and when did you come to Japan and how did you get started in this whole e-com and this like retail
Yeah,
business?
absolutely. So I was born and raised in Sweden, but both of my parents are Turkish immigrants. So I was born and raised there, lived there for 22 years, decided that I needed a change in my life. So I came to Japan, and I said to myself, you know what, I'm just gonna study Japanese for a year, and that's it. And like,
Okay, why did you come to
yeah,
Japan?
good.
What yeah.
Long,
What made you
yeah,
come?
to put it very, very
I mean, for
simply,
me, I was always fascinated by the Japanese video
yeah,
games. The coolest games were in
yeah,
Japanese when I was a kid. I
yeah.
was like, I want to go there and learn it and play all the coolest like Final Fantasy and all that. But why did you come to Japan?
So for me, it wasn't like anime or any of that stuff. It was actually a small pocket-sized book given to me by my uncle about the history and culture of Japan. And the reason he knew that I was interested in Japan was because when I was 12, I watched The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. And
But Tom
yeah,
Cruise, yeah,
yeah,
he's not even
yeah,
Japanese,
I
but
know.
yeah, I know,
Yeah,
I
and
know.
I basically cried at the end of the movie, and he thought it was super cute. So he gave me that book when I was 15, a couple of years later,
Hmm.
and it just opened my mind somehow. And since then,
Mm,
I said, I'm going someday, and that day happened to be when I was
mm.
22, basically. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So you got inspiration by The Last
Yes.
Samurai. You flew out. You moved out to Japan. Where did you study? In Tokyo or Osaka? Where
So
did you go?
I've lived here for 10 years now, and I've always been in Osaka. I
Okay.
started studying Japanese at a Japanese language school here from zero.
Hmm.
And like
Hmm.
I said, the plan was to just study for a year and try to find myself. But I fell in love with the city, not just the country, but the city itself, so badly that I just had to stay longer. And
What do you love most about Osaka?
just the atmosphere, the friendly people, the good food. Um, there's a there's a big sense of accomplishment coming here, not being able to speak the language, making friends of your own, making money of your own, and that sense of accomplishment, I think, really roots you to this place. And yeah, so that's what I love about Osaka the most, to put it
Mhm.
simply. Yeah.
Okay. And how did you get started like doing your own business? Were you like working like another job and you were doing like a side hustle?
Well,
How did you get into
yeah,
this?
good question. Thank you. So I did all kinds of part-time jobs as a student. I did the English teaching thing. I even worked at McDonald's for a while. And yeah,
Really? Oh.
I did not.
I heard they're very systematized there. Like even like the Big Mac, there's like a circle on the wrapper to put the sandwich on.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah,
true?
it's very, very strict in a good sense. In a good sense. It's
Yeah.
very strict,
Hmm.
but it wasn't for me. It
Hmm.
wasn't for me at all.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
I told them, the original reason I applied for the job was because I wanted to be at the register to practice my Japanese. I was like, okay,
Mm.
I want to work at the register. And they're like, yeah, 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 yeah. And my first day, my last day, they put me in the kitchen. So, yeah. But long story short, I didn't want to do that. It wasn't for me. So
Okay.
I had 50,000 yen left. What's that? It was like $400 or something.
Hmm. Yeah.
Back then, all my savings as a
Hmm.
student. And I realized
Mm.
that I needed to make money without working. And this was 2016. So Amazon, FBA, Amazon Prime had just come to Japan. And long story short, I launched my own private label protein shaker brand, but still have it to
Hmm.
this day. And
Hmm. Hmm.
it basically enabled me to get an income without working. So I was making,
Hmm.
maybe 150,000 yen a month. And as a student,
Hmm.
I mean, you're
Hmm.
rich when you're making
Hmm.
150,000 yen. So that's
Hmm.
how it all
Hmm.
began. This
Hmm.
entrepreneurial journey. Um, you
Hmm.
know, and basically I put in all those, all my last money into buying like 100 shaker bottles and shipping them to Japan.
Hmm.
And if they,
Were they from China?
yes,
Or
yes, for
where were they
Alibaba,
manufactured?
private
Hmm.
label, all that good
Hmm.
stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so basically, if those first 100 bottles hadn't sold, then I probably wouldn't be here right now. So it was
Hmm.
really like a leap of faith. But I did believe in it. I did believe in the product. I knew there was demand. So yeah, it was a no-brainer.
Okay. So you sold 100 bottles, and then what happened
And
next?
then, so basically what I did was just, at first, I shipped them all myself. I wrote like letters of thank you to everyone who bought. I'm like, thank you for supporting my lifestyle, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
And like a month into that, I started selling so many shakers that I'm like, I can't go and ship this out myself. So that's when I started the FBA thing and had Amazon ship it out for me.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep.
so that basically kept me going during my student years. I eventually saved up enough money after 2 years I moved to Shanghai actually. I wanted to study Chinese as well. So I
Mm.
studied Chinese there for around 6 months. Due
Hmm.
to personal reasons, I had to end the journey early, and I came back to
Hmm.
Japan. Went into university, but after a year of university, COVID hit, and
Hmm.
basically I had to choose whether or not I wanted to stay, and I chose to stay. It was difficult going back home anyways due to the pandemic. So
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
this whole time, I was just selling these protein shakers, trying to evolve that business as well. I went into consulting, which is how we met actually,
Hmm.
because I wanted to learn more
Yeah.
about it. That's why I went to your
Hmm.
mastermind. And
Yeah. Yeah. What was I'm curious. So the mastermind, it was in 2023. It was right
yes,
after
yes,
COVID, when Japan opened up
mm,
again. What was your biggest takeaway? I mean, we had 2 full days of trainings talking about how to sell on Amazon Japan. We had sellers, we had PPC experts,
yeah.
Japanese, localization, import compliance, etc. What was, I mean, how did that help your business?
It helped me tremendously. I mean, it was just a gold mine of
Mm,
experience and knowledge. It was super helpful, even if I hadn't learned a single new thing about, let's say, PPC or whatever. It would have been worth it just for the what do you call it? The jimyaku. What do you say in English? The connections in
what,
that
like the
network. Yeah, the
networking, like,
networking, exactly. Just
yeah,
for the connections
networking, like
alone.
the connections, like
Exactly.
the personal,
So
yeah,
that alone was
yeah.
worth
I remember we had like the karaoke, like you were there. I think you had a
it.
bottle. You were talking to some other people, right? Afterwards,
Yeah,
that's when the real relationships
exactly.
are bonded, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it was great, man. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Excellent. Okay, so after that, I mean, it was 2023, and then we kind of lost touch. So,
Yeah.
like, how did you get into POCO-TEIN, into ice cream?
So, long story short, it all started before COVID. I went back to Sweden for a while to visit family. Went into the supermarket in the middle of winter, and lo and behold, there were protein ice creams everywhere in every single supermarket. And this was just around the
Hmm.
time when this protein boom in Japan started. So, when I first came to Japan, there were no protein yogurts or protein bars being sold. But
Hmm.
then around 6 years ago, in convenience stores and everything, protein drinks started selling. Yogurts came after that. There's a company called Base Foods that sells protein breads. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I've
yeah,
seen
yeah,
those. Yeah,
breads, bars, yogurts, you name it.
and protein
Yeah,
bars,
exactly,
obviously.
exactly,
Like chocolate bars,
exactly.
protein, like all the different flavors.
And
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
those things were already in Sweden, and I bet Canada and America and all other European countries 10 years ago. So when I first came to Japan.
Hmm.
Um, so it was like seeing into the future. Um, so if those things came to Sweden 10 years ago and then ice cream came 5 years later, and those things are now coming to Japan, well then in 5 years surely protein ice cream will be the next thing. So what I
Yeah.
what I did
Yeah.
was I waited for 3 years. after coming back from that trip. And because I thought, it's just a matter of time before one of these big ice cream companies launches a protein ice cream, and it didn't happen.
Hmm.
It didn't happen. So
Hmm.
one day I just said, like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna do it myself. And that's basically how
Hmm.
it started. And that
Hmm.
timeline coincided with the time when I met you. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So you actually got the idea when
Yep.
traveling to abroad,
Yep.
like going to Sweden, right?
Yep.
And then you kind of imported it into Japan. It kind of reminds me of like, the Starbucks story. Like I don't know if you know like, Howard Schultz, like the whole like, the coffee thing, like before Starbucks, like US coffee was just like, like donut shops. But then Howard, he went to Italy for like a coffee trade show
Mm.
convention. And then like during, the morning, he would go to like an Italian cafe and he would see like the Italian coffee culture and like the cappuccino, the espresso, and then he's like, hey, this is kind of cool. So he brought that Italian coffee culture into Seattle, into US, and that's how Starbucks was
Oh.
born. So it's kind of like your story. You're bringing like the Swedish protein ice cream culture into Japan, so to
Mm.
speak. Right? I mean, there's some similarity there, at least from my
Of course, I
viewpoint.
mean the concept itself, bringing the protein ice cream is, yes, as you say, imported.
Yeah.
Um, but
Okay.
there are a couple
Okay.
of big ice cream brands around the world. To name a
Hmm.
few, Halo Top, for example, that's the biggest one in America.
Hmm. Hmm.
Halo Top tried to launch in Japan, and it didn't work. So
Mm.
what I'm trying to say here is, yeah, sure, uh, you can just import a protein ice cream and try to sell it, but you also have to localize
Mm.
it if you want to succeed in Japan.
Mm.
So, for
Mm.
example, in America, they sell tubs, pints of ice cream, right? You don't
Hmm.
see that in Japan. It's all just small cups. So that's the first thing
Hmm.
I did.
Yeah.
I made the cup smaller. The second thing I did
Hmm.
was I didn't make it overly sweet. The third thing I did was I adopted the flavors towards the Japanese market. So, for example, I made matcha flavors. I made black sesame kinako flavors. I've got
Mm.
6 more flavors coming up, like hojicha, stuff like that. Stuff like
Mm.
flavors that really fit into the culture here. So
Yeah.
that's also
For
important.
those people that are not familiar, what is hojicha?
It's Even I don't know what the English word is. Isn't it? It's probably hoji tea or something in English.
Yeah, it's like a lighter version. It's not like as heavy as matcha, right? Like the flavor is not as intense. I mean, I'm not a tea expert, but I think the caffeine is a little lower. So,
So
but yeah, I get it. So you're localizing
it's
like these Japanese
exactly.
flavors, right? For the
So it's
yeah, localization, Japanification,
yeah.
right?
So it's basically
Hmm.
a green tea that
Hmm.
gets roasted, and that
Hmm.
because if you've ever seen, I don't know if you've seen hojicha, but it has like a reddish brown color, and that's
Mm.
from it
Mm.
being roasted, and that it
Mm.
gives it distinctive like roasted and nutty flavor, and Japanese people
Yeah,
love that.
yeah,
Yeah, I love it too.
yeah. I like
Yeah,
hojicha
yeah,
too.
it's good.
Yeah, yeah, very
Yeah.
fragrant. Nice. Okay. Okay, so you localize the flavors. I mean, wait. So are you making it in Japan? Like,
Yes.
is that how it works?
So,
Okay. How did you find a manufacturer? I mean, that's another big question mark because a lot of people say, "Hey, I want to make my thing in Japan.
mm,
Like, how do I find a factory?
mm,
There's no Alibaba for
yeah,
Japan. So
yeah.
how did you find that your factory or your manufacturer?"
So the original plan was to have the ice cream made through an ice cream manufacturer, and I did find a couple, uh, but I soon realized that the costs were just going to be too high, because I didn't want my ice cream to be sold for, a price that's above Haagen-Dazs, for example. So Haagen-Dazs in Japan sells for around 300 yen. So I knew that, that's my cap. And
Hmm.
the way I found these manufacturers was basically, I mean, Googling it in Japanese and then trying to navigate,
Hmm.
their 90s websites and stuff like that. But usually they have phone
Mm.
numbers, I've been here for 10
Hmm.
years, so I do speak the language quite well. I just call them and
Hmm.
ask for, meetings and stuff. So it wasn't too hard for
Hmm.
me, but I can see how it would be hard for someone who doesn't speak Japanese. That's for sure.
Do you find like it's harder to do business as a foreigner? I mean, granted, you do speak Japanese, but I hear like, it's very like inclusive
Yeah.
society, right? If you're a foreigner, it's kind of hard. Like what's your experience, Brock, with doing business with Japanese?
So I know a guy who moved his entire family here, and he's also in the food business. He imports something from abroad and is trying to sell it here in Japan to hotels and supermarkets and
Hmm.
stuff. Whenever we
Hmm.
talk, I realize how much of an advantage being able to speak Japanese is. It's to be honest, it's night and day. And I hope, the people who are listening to this don't get demotivated by it, but it is the
Hmm.
truth. It's exactly as you say, it's a very inclusive society. So if you want to be included in it, then, being
Hmm.
able to understand the not just the language, but also the culture is important. So
Yeah, yeah. But what if you have a local partner that, I mean, that
exactly,
speaks
exactly.
Japanese, or like a Japanese
Yeah.
person? Wouldn't that help?
So that being said, that was going to be my next point. He
Hmm.
hired someone with
Hmm.
lots of experience in the industry
Hmm.
who is Japanese, and he basically does all the sales part for that
Hmm.
guy. And
Hmm.
since he hired him, things have gone much better, much better. So it
Mm.
definitely helps. Yeah.
Okay. 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 So how, I mean, okay, so your ice cream started taking off, like you started off on Amazon, then you started, getting into retail. How did you get onto TV?
Yeah. So basic,
I mean, you got onto TV for free. I mean, a lot of people
yes,
they pay,
yes,
obviously, like, for like a spot,
yeah,
but you didn't have to pay like a single
yeah,
yen or a single
yeah.
penny, right?
Uh,
How did you get onto Japanese TV?
I get emails every week about offers of being on TV and having a spot on this show and that show, and it's in the millions, man. The cost is just so high. So what I think we did right was, I think our social media exposure helped a lot, and obviously a bit of
Hmm.
luck was involved as well. But well, I didn't do anything myself. Like I didn't reach out to them or anything. They basically reached out to us. They just sent us an email and said, "Hey, we would like to feature you on this show. Could you send some samples and tell us about the product, and we'll say it on TV." And
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, obviously I said yes, and we got on
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
So that time
Hmm.
when I posted it on LinkedIn, and you noticed it, we were actually on the same show, but in a better time slot yesterday. So we've been on TV twice now.
Oh,
Yes. Uh,
what was the effect on your business being on TV?
so obviously the EC online sales went up as soon as
Okay.
the show started, and they introduced our product.
How much did it go up by? Was it like a huge
Yeah,
spike,
it was a
or
huge
how much
spike.
are we
It was
talking?
a huge spike, but
Yeah.
not as huge as one would imagine, I mean, it's being watched by,
Okay.
millions of people, but our sales went up maybe 50 to 70% in like an hour, but it didn't hold throughout the day. It was
Okay.
just that peak during lunchtime when it was, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did you like update your listing on e-commerce saying like, oh, we were featured on TV, we were on this show,
It's
like
gonna
as seen
happen
on
soon,
TV?
very soon. It's being edited as
That's
we
social
speak.
proof, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works, not just in Japan, that works anywhere, right?
Exactly.
People have that, that as seen on
Yeah.
TV, that's like, oh, this is a like a real
Yeah, yeah.
brand, but
It's
I think you say you didn't do anything, but actually like every single step you took along the way from day one you started until now, that's what you did for people to feature you on TV. If you really did nothing, there's no
yeah.
way they would reach out to you, right?
Yes, it's
Right?
exactly as you say. I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
I didn't reach out to them. That's all. But
Okay,
yeah, of
okay,
course, it is as
okay.
you said.
Can you tell me more about the social media? It sounds like that was a big tipping point, and a lot of brands like they're this is like a black box.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, did you work with the influencers? Did you work with the agency, or like what are you doing for social? Do you have like line
yeah,
marketing, like those
yeah.
like QR codes, or what are you doing for social?
So last year was entirely organic. It didn't pay anything
Okay,
in ads.
okay.
But from this year, we did start, affiliate marketing, Instagram ads, Google ads, stuff like that. And that's definitely been a huge help. That's for sure. Yes, we do line marketing. We
Hmm.
let another company handle it for us. But of course, it's
Hmm.
important that we do all of those things now, especially as we grow.
Okay, yeah. What about TikTok? TikTok Shop just launched in Japan recently.
We're
Are you getting into that?
Yes, we actually had two people reaching out to us offering to help us with that. So we're going to go ahead with one of them who's an expert. We'll be launching very soon.
Okay, okay. Okay, very cool. What were some of the biggest like challenges or maybe like a mistake you made along the way? Just so you can help some other people learn from that. I mean, how did you overcome it?
So originally, yeah, I mentioned that I was looking for manufacturers to do the ice cream for me, and I soon realized it was going to be too expensive. So one of the things I had to do was basically set up my own mini factory. And
Mhm.
having no prior experience in food manufacturing, anything, that was, oh my God, just thinking about
You
it.
worked at McDonald's, so you
Yeah,
had some experience. You
I
were
mean,
in the kitchen,
yeah,
right?
but I wasn't manufacturing the food, like
Right, right,
thousands of
right.
units at a
Yeah,
time.
I'm
Yeah,
joking.
of
Yeah,
course, of course.
yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, as you know, Japan has super strict regulations when it comes to food. Crazy strict.
Hmm.
And of course
Hmm.
for the better of everyone. Um, but
Hmm.
so I had to learn everything about, how to set up a factory, how to handle all the equipment. Um, I mean, you name it, everything had to be learned from zero, basically. And when that started, once I had set up the factory and once I had started selling and shipping stuff out, that then came a whole other set of hurdles that had to be what do you call it? No, norikoeru.
To be crossed, right?
Yes, to be
To be
overcome.
crossed.
To be
Yeah,
overcome. Yes,
to be overcome. Yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
Um, Customer complaints, uh,
Mm.
influencer reach outs. I mean, just everything that has to do with business. And I had to do it all together with my friend. So, I did the shipping, I did the social media, I did everything. I was there in the factory making ice cream one cup at a time every single day. And yeah,
Wow.
it
What about the recipes? Like, did you make the recipe yourself, or you?
so what I did was I hired a an Italian gelato master, and he's written his own book on, how to make ice cream and everything. And he mentored me basically. And for the next two
Mm.
years, this was in
Wow.
2022, I
Hmm.
I basically spent every day trying to perfect the recipes. And yeah,
Wow.
and I had to learn about all the science behind, how ice cream is made and, crystallization and viscosity and all these technical terms. I had to learn it. But the more I studied, the better the recipe got. And once I had nailed the recipe, that's when I launched the company. And that's when I moved towards making my own factory. So obviously the base had to be
Mm.
there. But it took 2 years, man.
Mm.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
every day I used to invite friends for dinner, and I would cook dinner for them, and then after dinner it would be, this is today's version of POCO-TEIN. Please tell me your thoughts. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, a lot of friends have
I wish I
sacrificed
had a
themselves.
seat at that dinner table. That that
Man,
sounds pretty good to me.
I that was in a 1K apartment, so 20 square meters. It was very tight, man. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it was good times, good
Yeah. Well, I'm
times.
sure the food was good
Yes,
and the ice cream was good. I mean,
definitely.
that's what matters
Yeah, man,
most, right? And the
definitely.
company was
Yeah.
good, right?
So the,
Okay. All right. Excellent. So you overcame these challenges. You learned the recipe from the Italian gelato master. You nailed it. It took 2 years. Okay. So what do you see in the future for Pocotein? Let's say in the next 3 years. Where do you see it going?
so the original plan was to get into supermarkets in 2027, and 2026, and then convenience stores in 2027. But we're getting into convenience stores in 2025, so everything has moved like quite quickly. But when I first wrote my business plan, the goal was basically to bring it to a valuation of $1 billion, like dollars. I want to turn this company into a unicorn, and
Mm,
that's what I see. But in the end goal, yeah. But in 3 to 5 years from now,
hmm
we'll have
hmm
launched protein cookies, protein coffees. The recipes for those are already done as well. We have to
hmm
first be the protein ice cream company in Japan. We're already first to market, and now we have to, solidify our market share there and make sure we stick and people know about Pocotin. Once they do that, then we
mm,
can start expanding, new flavors, new product lines, all of that good stuff. And obviously,
mm,
the next step, logical step after that would be to export it. And we're already in talks with
mm,
7-Eleven Hong Kong, 7-Eleven Thailand as well. So it's just very exciting. Just want to keep growing the company as much as possible. But
yeah.
I one of the so you asked me what some of the biggest challenges were, and obviously besides production, one of them is cash flow. So in Japan,
Mm,
they have a system where you close all the deals by the end of the month, and then you get paid at the end of the following month. So, for example, everything I sold in July would be paid to me at the end of August. But the recipe
mm, mm,
and the production cost uh, for creating those cups that were eventually sold, that was paid for 3 to 4 months prior. So you have to pay for something upfront, and then you get the money into the bank account 3 to 4 months down the line. So you can
mm,
imagine if 7-Eleven or Family Mart comes in, it's just gonna, increase that problem. So that's why
hmm
we're fundraising at the moment before our Series A
hmm
in order to be able to basically handle all the demand that's gonna come
mm.
our way.
I see. I see. Yeah, that looks like a big challenge, right? Because you don't get paid until several months after, so you have to like, buy the ingredients and, pay for the labor and the
Exactly.
packaging and,
Exactly.
all that other stuff.
Exactly.
So, okay. Okay. If people do want to connect with you, what's the best way to connect?
LinkedIn, for sure.
Hmm.
My email address is also listed on our official website. Just one
Okay.
more thing.
Can you just spell
Yeah.
spell out your name just for people that are
Oh,
listening?
absolutely. It's Burak, Burak. And then my
Hmm.
last name is Gorgoglu. It's much harder to spell.
Hmm.
Gorgulu. But it's the
Okay.
O with the two
We'll link
dots on
that
them.
up in the show notes
Yeah,
below.
thank you. Uh,
There's with the two dots on
yeah,
them?
yeah.
Yeah.
So just one more
Okay.
piece of advice for people looking to sell food products in Japan. Trade shows
Hmm.
are your best friend. Just
Mm,
trade shows, trade shows, trade shows. Even if you can't get a booth yourself, it's worth to go and just connect with a bunch of companies there and connect with the people who are actually doing it. You'll find a lot of
mm.
foreigners who have booths as well, so they can offer a lot of good advice.
Which trade show, like if people can
Oh,
only go to one, which one is like you can't miss?
FoodX. It's held in Tokyo every February, I think. Every year in February. FoodX, Japan. It is
Okay.
by far the biggest one.
Okay. Only once a year?
Only once a year.
Okay. Okay. Are you going next year?
Once you know this, of course, of course.
Okay, okay. I'll see you there then.
Oh,
Hopefully, some people listening
absolutely.
they'll
Absolutely.
come
Come on
in
by.
and meet with you and
100%.
yeah, stop by, get a taste of that, and get some
Absolutely.
business done as well at the same time. So, Brock, thank you so much. I really appreciate having you on today.
Great.
Thank you for sharing your story. I hope this is on one. I want to come to feature Barack because I feel like a lot of people listening, they have like a goal. They want to sell in Japan, right? So I wanted to feature you as like a case study, someone that's actually done it before, and it hasn't all been easy, right? I mean, there's still challenges with cash flow, and when he was first starting out, he made some mistakes along the way, but he kept going, right? I mean, even when he only had like $400 in the bank, and I know you had some lows, but you kept going, so I'm very happy that your business is on the up. I mean, it's not the end yet, but you're on your way. So I hope that this is helpful to people that want to do this, and also like maybe there's someone interested in maybe wanting to work together with Barack. Feel free to reach out to him. LinkedIn is the best way, and also like where can people find your ice cream? Do you guys have a website, or where can people go
Yeah.
if they want to find Pocotein?
So just Google POCO-TEIN or Google protein ice cream Japan, and it'll show up as the first search results, hopefully, probably. And you can buy it
Okay,
on
or
Amazon.
ChatGPT? Like what's
No, just Google,
ChatGPT thing?
Google, Google. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Google.
we
Okay,
have our own.
okay. POCOTEIN,
Yes,
right? Pocotein.
yes, POCOTEIN.
Okay. Okay, perfect. All right. I'm all about like the 80/20 rule. So if you were to distill down like your whole story today, what would be the number one recommendation for brands that want to be successful selling in Japan?
Localize and get to know the
Hmm.
market and the culture. If I had to suggest one
Yeah.
thing, yeah, that would be it.
Mm.
And get someone on
All right.
on the on the floor here in Japan to do all the sales stuff for you. Yeah,
100%. Great advice. All right. Thank you so much, Barack. Wishing you best of luck and great success going forward with Poco-T and everything else. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you at the next session. Bye,
thanks
everybody.
so much.